What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Marshall Time, episode 46, a week one NFL edition. We gave y'all the preview and our early thoughts on what the season might look like. A lot of our thoughts started to come true early on, bro. And that's what we're going to get into a lot of top storylines. Most of these storylines are just how horrible some of these teams and these quarterbacks look. Got a lot to say about that. Let's go over the positives, though. There's only one positive I wrote down this week, bro. You know who it is. The guy we talked about, Saquon Barkley, 109 rushing yards, 2 TDs, caught a touchdown pass. Our Birds won against the Packers. First off, any Giants fans or Cowboys fans or whoever, it seems like there was a lot of hatred about the Eagles getting Saquon Barkley. Oh, he's always hurt and blah blah blah. Well, I saw a running back who looks locked in, who's playing on the best roster he's ever played in, who doesn't have to shoulder a lot of the load as he's had to over his career in New York. I saw a running back who brings a dimension that this offense hasn't had in a long time. And I saw an offense that, they didn't play in the preseason as far as the starters are concerned. So once they get the rust off, they still look pretty good. They look better than most of these offenses I've seen that had opportunities to work on some things in the preseason, right? And so my only bright spot that I just want to talk about is Saquon Barkley. I'm excited. All the haters, I don't know what you're going to say, especially those Giants haters. We're going to talk about y'all too. I got a lot to say about that, but yeah, Saquon, he's special. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, Saquon. I mean, for one, let's be real about a couple of things, right? Saquon has been a stud since Penn State, and we knew coming into the league he was going to be a beast, right? Now he goes to the Giants, and we know their situation isn't the best, and it got worse actually from when he first got there to when he left. But every year he was healthy, he still was able to produce, right? Putting up good numbers. He took a lot of carries, a lot of usage on the team, and I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's a little older now." He has a lot of miles on his body because he was on that offense that really was just him. But he looks as rejuvenated as ever, right? And this, like you spoke on it, this is the first time he's playing on a competent offensive line, right? He's playing on a team that you can't stack the box against because you have two great receivers on the outside, right? And you have a quarterback that can get them the ball. It's simple, man. Saquon's a beast, and if we're being realistic, right? Me personally, yes, CMC and Derrick Henry have been the two best running backs for the past, what we say 3 to 5 seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Saquon has the ability to be better than them. Like talent wise,
Mm-hmm.
he has the physique, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's stronger, like he's bigger than CMC. He's not quite as big as Henry, but he's faster than Henry. He's like a perfect mix of both, and he can catch the ball, right? Can make plays. We saw he had a receiving touchdown. It's just always either been injuries or he hasn't had the right chance to.
Mm-hmm.
So this year he has a chance to prove like, yo, I'm the number one running back in the league. Yo, like the talent has always been there. There's never been a question. Now he's finally in a position to really prove it. So I'm happy that he came out and killed it in his first game, man. All the doubt, all the hate, it's just that's what it was. It was hate. Because if you know football, right, you know if you give a running back of that caliber a good offensive line and a good offense, he's going to kill. Like it's a no brainer. Like you gotta remember, we had Miles Sanders looking great, and Miles Sanders is a solid running back. He was. I always like Miles Sanders, right? But you see what happened when he went to the
It's
Panthers,
different.
not even in the mix no more, right?
It's
Because
levels.
their line isn't there. He doesn't have the holes. He doesn't have the lanes, right? So you already knew Saquon could do that with a bad offensive line and team stacking the box against him. It's a no burner that he was going to kill with us. So it's just awesome to see that, especially since he's on our team. It's even better.
I'm just excited to have a running back. Miles Sanders was cool. DeAndre Swift, cool, talented running backs, but they're not Saquon. Because when Saquon gets the ball, you never know. He can break one. He can rise above whatever your defense might bring to you, right? The blocking may not be perfect, but one move, one cut, and it's a highlight, right? And so with Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift, as good and solid as they are, they're not elite. Like Saquon is an elite athlete. Like you saw that touchdown catch he had. He just leaped up there and like Miles and DeAndre aren't doing that. You know what I mean? And so to have that explosiveness at the running back spot, it's really exciting to see. And Saquon's 27 years old. He's not even in his 30s yet. You know what I mean? And so I think people forget that. So he's not old. Even in running back years, he's 27. He's in his prime now. Like he's in the middle of his prime running back wise, right? And so the caveat with Saquon is always going to be the health, right? But I would rather take a chance on a Saquon Barkley than to just accept the status quo or an average solid running back that you know what you're going to get and you know what the ceiling is for your team at that point. With a Saquon Barkley on your offense, he raises the ceiling of the team, right? Which leads me to his former team, the Giants. You played yourselves. You played yourselves because you have Daniel Jones as your quarterback, and you pretty much chose Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley. It's over. It was over when you drafted him. It was over last year. You got fooled when you beat Kirk Cousins. We'll get to him. You got fooled when you beat the Vikings and Kirk Cousins, then got destroyed in Philly. You thought, you thought, you thought wrong. 4 years, $160 million. You played yourself because you drafted him in 2019. The following year, this was the quarterback class. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa. You played yourselves because you fell into the pre-draft hype and industry plant propaganda surrounding certain quarterbacks. Daniel Jones was one of those guys. We'll talk about the industry quarterbacks during the season. Daniel Jones is one of them. You played yourselves because you didn't have the foresight and you bought into the hype. We got to get a quarterback. And you thought Daniel Jones from Duke, who was never produced, who's the best player from Duke University? Football. Quarterback.
I don't know. I don't know.
So he didn't have an elite pre-draft like grade. I don't recall. So you played yourselves in the pre-draft. You panicked. You bought into some hype. Whatever I don't know who was feeding you this information, this hype, the scouts, management, whatever the case is, whoever, whatever. You played yourselves. And now on Sunday, 22 for 42, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. You made Sam Darnold look like Kurt Warner compared to Daniel Jones. And you thought it was going to be different. You thought this guy could be a solid quarterback. And this is what annoys me, and this is why I just can't take most of these teams serious, because you would rather overpay and go in on a mid product at quarterback rather than, okay, let's wait a little bit. Let's have a bridge quarterback type of season. Let's be honest with our fans, because then you cannot be serious with Daniel Jones right now. Who are you fooling? Like, you're not fooling the people. You're not fooling football fans. You're not fooling Giants fans, right? And the Giants fans who are burning the jerseys of Daniel Jones is misplaced anger, because you're not declining a $160 million deal to play football. You're not doing that. You should be mad at the management. You should be mad at the front office who decided that Daniel Jones was the future of this franchise to be the quarterback. You played yourselves, Giants front office. You played yourselves. And I just can't take them serious until they get serious. And right now, it's been an unserious franchise. That's all I got for Daniel Jones. He's been cooked. It's over.
You hit it right on the nose, man. And person I feel bad for in this situation is Malik Nabers, because he's about to fall into the same trap that Saquon fell into, right? Super talented guy in college. He's going to be talented in the NFL. He's going to produce, but it's going to be limited because he's playing with a quarterback that's not good, right? And he's going to end up wasting a few of his prime years. You put him on any other team that has a solid quarterback, not even elite, just solid, he's already a potential candidate for Rookie of the Year. He still is a candidate for Rookie of the Year, but I don't think he's going to win it, because after watching Week 1, and I know it's one game, but bro, y'all seen what he said himself. They asked him about what's going on. He said, I don't know what was going on back there. Like, as far as the quarterback situation, he don't know what was going on, right? None of us do, because we know you're talented. We know you can catch. I'm watching Brian Thomas get off against Jalen Ramsey, right? He has a good quarterback in Trevor Lawrence throwing him the ball. It's not hard, man. And the Giants, look, they did it to themselves, right? Like you said, they gave him the money. So Giants fans, and there's a few of y'all who have faith in him, and that's cool. Have faith in your team, but you gotta be real sometimes. Like, I knew from the moment y'all drafted Daniel Jones, he wasn't going to be it. He just like it's just not no, it's not it. His best attribute is running the ball, but he's not even like come on, bro. He's supposed to be no. It's just not it. I'm done with the Giants, and they're done with themselves for a little bit too. It is what it is.
Oh, nah, study the QB class of 2025. Like, let's get
Yeah,
yourself knowledgeable about that, Giants fans, and try to play the tankathon situation. And people say, in some cases, it's only week one. The argument is true. Like, you can't really either way. You can't go overboard when it comes to week one, right? Even week two sometimes, but it's not just week one with Daniel Jones. He's 27 years old. He's not developing. He's not getting better. This is who he is. He was never meant to be a franchise quarterback. And that's just what it is. And so by giving him this 4-year deal, you put your team, you put your franchise back another 4 years possibly to figure out, okay, we got to find a new quarterback. We got to develop this young quarterback and we got to build a team around this quarterback. And so the Giants, a non-factor. We appreciate your time. Who's up next? Mr. Kirk Cousins. Let me run you down his numbers against the Steelers, who beat the Falcons but just field goals. So just take that, and think about that. Kirk Cousins, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, signed a 4-year deal worth $180 million. Bro, what did I say in the previous show about Kirk Cousins and the Falcons? I told you they're not serious about winning the Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins is nothing but a signing to appease the fans because there was a lot of excitement. We saw the Kirk Cousins Twitter pics and images with the chains, and which I don't like. I think it's cringe, but that's another story. Anyway, 36 years old, coming off a torn right Achilles. People think the Achilles injury is sweet. On top of that, he's pushing 40. On top of that, Kirk Cousins has never been it. We saw him lose to a Daniel Jones-led Giants team in the playoffs. It was 4th down, and what did he do, bro? Remember that? He
I
threw
know.
short of the chains.
Yeah.
How many times do we got to see Kirk Cousins in big moments under the bright lights and the brights get too light?
I don't even know if he has a primetime football, like a primetime Monday night, Sunday night win yet. I don't even know.
He hasn't played good enough to even give him the benefit of the doubt. The fact that you even got to think about it, we don't know. And here's the thing. Everything has been set up. This is another thing about quarterbacks that you had Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen when Thielen wasn't cooked. You had a running game. You had a defense. You played in the NFC North. The Lions are just now getting good. The Bears were non-factors. The Packers are now finding their way. The Vikings were it. So you had the red carpet out for you, and come playoff time in big moments, we know what Kirk does. So Kirk Cousins, first of all, salute to you for being the ultimate finesser. To be 36 years old, coming off a right Achilles injury, 4 years, $180 million deal. Salute to you for getting the bag ever since your Minnesota days. You continue to get it done. And he's one of those players, one of those quarterbacks who has like a fan base in the national media. Like there's a lot of people in national media who never honestly, they just have rose-colored glasses when it comes to Kirk Cousins for whatever reason, without looking at the facts. The numbers are beautiful. If you want him for fantasy and whatever, he'll show off for you. But in reality, to rise above and be the reason why your team is going to win, sorry. I've seen Kirk Cousins throw just impossible balls up to Justin Jefferson, and Jefferson just goes up and grabs it. You know what I mean? And so now he's in Atlanta. There's a lot of hype, a lot of expectation, and people getting fooled again. Fooled again. So Falcons fans, it's not just week one. This is the Kirk Cousins experience, only older. He has one working leg. He can't move. And we got him on Monday. Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, I'm going to be at the game Monday. I'm going to be.
Oh, it's gonna be lit.
In the building. Yes.
I need that defense. I need that defense locked in.
I will be in the building. And just for all the fans out there, Kirk Cousins has never beat us since I've been. They never know. That's never happened. As far as him, I mean, we we talked about it already. Kirk Cousins is the perfect. He's the perfect quarterback when your team is just down bad and they just want to get a quarterback to make the fan base feel like they have hope or feel like we might have a chance. That's the quarterback you get, right? Because his numbers look good. He'll give you some great games in the regular season. But when everything is time, when it's time to go, it's time to win games, playoff games, big boy football. It's the middle of December, January. It's cold. It's over. It's over. Um, and I get it. Like I don't get it, but I get what they're trying to do. It's the Falcons. Like they have some weapons on offense, right? They have Pitts, they have Bijan, they have Drake London. So they're like, all right, we have to get a quarterback that can, utilize these weapons. They got a new OC. But honestly, you have these weapons, yes. But what justice are you doing them by bringing in a quarterback that's not going to translate to winning football in the end? Right? These guys want to win. I mean, that's what I would think. These guys, they're young, yes, but Kyle Pitts has been in the league for a few seasons now. I'm sure he's tired of just losing every year in Atlanta. Same with Drake London. Bijan is his second year, but I'm sure he wasn't satisfied with his rookie year. He didn't even get used properly. So to me, it's like, bro, y'all, all right. So then you do the Kirk Cousins thing, then you draft Michael Penix. At this point, a few more of them Kirk Cousins games, it's time to play Michael Penix. Like, whether you think he's ready or not, like, because in all honesty, bro, you just going to lose the interest of the fans, which they've already done in the past, and you're going to the players aren't going to play as hard. They're not going to play like, come on, man. Like, come on. The whole Kirk Cousins thing is over. It's over. You already spoke about the injury history, and it's just simple. He's not that guy, man. He's a good regular season quarterback. He's going to get you the numbers, like you said. He's going to make his money. And
Salute.
teams that keep paying him, like if I was a fan, I wouldn't be happy. I'd be upset if I was a Falcons fan because I knew from the beginning it's not what it's paying out to be.
I laughed when that news broke of them signing Kirk Cousins. I laughed. Take away the injury. I've been saying the same thing about Kirk Cousins. He'll get you to a certain point, but there's a point when you need him to make a play as a quarterback, lead you guys in those big moments. And what does he do? Throw the ball short of the first down marker, throwing picks, folding under pressure. But no, people like him because he wears chains. Right? Am I lying?
Do not.
He has that viral video when he was with Washington, right? You like that video? Like, come on. Like, all right. And so, Falcons fans, I don't know what to tell you. If you bought into, first of all, this is a franchise that tried to sell you on Desmond Ridder. So what do we like? Get serious, Atlanta. Add that team to the list of we're gonna build the list every week. I'm gonna start the list right now. Actually, unserious teams, because we're about to go into another one too.
Run a list of unserious
teams. Giants, Falcons. Perfect transition to the Panthers. I'm gonna just write them down. You tell me about the Panthers.
Oh my god! So the Panthers, man. First of all, bro, it's week 1.
This is the list right here too.
You are only 3-point underdogs. It's week 1.
List right here.
Yes, it's week 1. You're 3-point underdogs on the road in New Orleans, division rival. Week 1, 3-point underdogs. How do you go out there and lose 47-10?
To Derek Carr.
How do you let a Saints team led by Derek Carr and an aging Alvin Kamara? Alvin Kamara can still play, but he is aging. He's not the same. Everybody knows this. How do you let them drop almost 50 points on your team week 1? What is the? There's no explanation for that. Bryce Young, look, man, I had hope that he could finally break the mold of the black quarterback, and what's going on with our black quarterbacks, but it's not looking good. And I'm gonna be fair. His first year, he went into a terrible situation, right? Now Now, like I said, they've tried to improve some things with their team, but it doesn't look like it's working out. I know it's only week 1, but that's a terrible week 1 L. That's an L you take when it's like week 11 and your team might
Mm-hmm.
be 3-5, 2-6, and it's like, dang, we got cooked this week. But week 1, bro, y'all got to come out with some fight, and you let a team put up basically 50 points on you, and you were only 3-point underdogs. That means Vegas only expected y'all to lose by 3 points. That
Mm-hmm.
means they're expecting a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And you're playing the Saints. I see a lot, like, people might think, oh, the Panthers, yeah, they're probably the worst team in the league, but the Saints aren't that good. Like, the Saints aren't good either. The Saints aren't going to be a playoff team, not in my estimation. So, yeah, I think it's time. I honestly, but see, I don't even know. I don't know if it's time to give up on Bryce Young yet. Like, it might be, but at the same time, it's like, bro, is he so traumatized by what's going on there from his first year that he might not get back? Like, we've seen this happen with quarterbacks before. Like, they may come in with some talent, but they go into the wrong situation, bro. It's not going to pan out right, and that's what it's looking like for him. So it's time for them to start looking too. Like, it might be that time. Like, yo, we might have to get a Shador if he comes out. Yeah, Ewers if he when he comes out. Like, we gotta get somebody. We gotta draft one of these quarterbacks, because there's no point of them drafting playmakers. They need either get line to protect Bryce Young, or they need to get just a whole new quarterback. Period, that can even combat what's going on with their whole team as a whole. Like, they need somebody that's going to change the whole stigma of that organization right now. It's terrible.
Um, when I think of Carolina, I don't have many thoughts because it's just a bad football team. Um, you can't lose to the Saints in week 1 like that. You can't get blown out like that. Like, they made New Orleans look like, oh, I might gotta take them. Do I gotta take them serious this year? Are they a playoff team? Are they really like that? They're not really like that. They're not. When I think of Carolina, I can't help but think about that running back in San Francisco, Christian McCaffrey. And once again, you make decisions as a franchise, it can set you back. And I'm not saying McCaffrey solves all your issues, but McCaffrey is routinely number 1 fantasy ranked player, one of the best players, the best player at his position. You don't have a single elite player on that roster offensively. I do know that. So you got a McCaffrey, we can work with it. We can build around that. And so with Carolina, from the front offense on down, it's just a bad franchise. And I just added them to the unserious franchise list. And I don't want to waste more breath on what they got going on because I don't know. I don't know. Deshaun Watson is cooked. Um, threw 2 picks against the Cowboys. So you can start the Cowboys hype train now. So the Browns traded 3 first rounders, 6 picks overall to Houston. Then they signed Deshaun to a fully guaranteed a couple years ago, $230 million over 5 years. He's 28 years old. He looks bad. Like, he looks like all of his talent had just been taken. I don't even know how to explain it because in Houston he was like legit, right? You have the off the field issues, allegedly being a nasty man, and you can't play football anymore. That's all I got. He
This
looked
one,
bad. He looks
this one
bad.
hurts. This one hurts to see because I'm a D Watt fan. Like, when he was in Houston, I was like, yo, like, when he goes to the Browns, like, I know it, he had injury issues, but when they were saying he was going to the Browns, I'm like, yo, the Browns could finally be legit. Like, because to me, D Watt was one of the, he was an elite quarterback. Like, he was accurate, and he's one of the black quarterbacks that was kind of beating the stigma, like that. The stigma, and to be honest, the true reputation that a lot of them just run. They're not that accurate. He was very accurate. Like, he was one of the most accurate QBs. He had one of the most accurate seasons. That last year in Houston, or the last year he was healthy in Houston. So he could really pass the ball, and we seen what he did at Clemson. Like, he was a beast. He won a chip, against a great defense, right? So to see that fall off is just so odd, bro. And I don't know where even to pinpoint it at. Like, it's the only thing we can really say is the off the field issues. Is like, but it's like, bro, was you going through that much to where your talent just went out the window? Like to me, as like an athlete, that should be your escape. Like you should want to get on the field and just cook and shut everybody up, right? But now it's like, bro, like last year, okay, we know he didn't look good to start the season, then he got hurt. So this year they expect him to come in, let's get right. He just looks terrible out there. I don't know what I really never seen a quarterback fall off that quickly, like in real time. You know what I mean? Like we've seen quarterbacks get hurt and then like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, they still show flashes. He's not even showing flashes. He just looks bad. Like if I show somebody that didn't know him from a can of paint and said, this is him on the Houston, this on the Browns, they're gonna be like, yo, this is not the same person. You're lying to me. And the Browns, it sucks for them because they have a good defense, right? They have weapons on offense. They've built this team to be in a position to just get a quarterback that can be good and let's see if we can make a run. But I don't know. It's like every quarterback they get doesn't do good. Like even they drafted Baker, right? And he wasn't good with them. He's balling on the Bucks now. So it's just like I don't know. It's something with the organization. It's something with him. I'm just not feeling it, and I hate to say it, bro, but he's looking real cooked right now. Like I hope he bounces back because I'm still rooting for him. Like I'm a fan. Like I don't know what's going on off the field, but I used to love his game. Right now, I'm not loving what I'm seeing at all.
Yeah, and it could a lot of it could be a mental thing, right? You don't know what's going on in that locker room, how players feel about him in the locker room. It's a lot that mentally, especially at the quarterback position, when you got to lead a huddle and you're looked upon as the leader of a franchise, that can be heavy. And once mentally, if you're checked out, if you're having those struggles, then it transfers down physically. You're not reacting. You're not being an athlete. You're not being just a natural athlete to where you're just going with your natural instincts instead of thinking how you're going to make this throw and what you're going to do here, right? And so that happens too for in a lot of cases, right? But at this point, man, Jameis Winston can't be too bad at this point, right? Like if you're the Browns, when do you have that conversation? If it's week 4 and you see how talented your defense is, your offense, Nick Chubb has to come back, but it's not horrible. If you're 0-4, 1-3, and Deshaun Watson is looking horrible, Jameis Winston, let's get ready. Like what you're doing with your pregame talks and everything is amazing. We need you to play now. So at this point, it might be Winston time. It's week 1 and already Cleveland might have to figure out it might be time to bench our starter. I think that's how bad Deshaun Watson looked. Also, Cincinnati Bengals. You lost to the Patriots. You're under surveillance. I'm gonna add another list. Teams under surveillance. You want to know why they're under? You don't know not why they're under surveillance. Number one, you lost to the Patriots, 16-10. So this is a Patriots team. I follow them closely. I have to cover them, right? Horrible last year. Jacoby Brissett, a journeyman. He's a bridge gap quarterback to get ready for Drake May, right? Drake May played better in the preseason, but the Patriots' offensive line is so bad that they don't want to break Drake May mentally or physically. And so let's put up Jacoby Brissett, the vet. He can handle it, right? The Patriots defense is always going to be legit. They were good last year. Well, based off week 1, they're good again, even without Matthew Judon. And so Christian Gonzalez, really good young cornerback. You get used to his name. You had Jamar Chase out there. Joe Burrow's out there. You can't lose to the Patriots on your home field. I don't want to hear any excuses, especially when I got to hear Joe Burrow's name being mentioned with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry. They're not. Is KC losing to New England? Is Patrick Mahomes allowing that?
No.
Is Josh Allen allowing that?
Nah,
Is Lamar Jackson allowing that? And so you could say it's a team sport, but at certain points, quarterbacks are going to, you know what? I know Lamar and Josh Allen and Mahomes, they're going to do certain things that's going to elevate the team in those moments. I don't see them being in that same exact situation, losing to a Patriots team where nobody can even, when it comes to fantasy, who you picking up off that roster? Ramondre Stevenson, probably, he had a good game, but outside of that, name me their 3 wide receivers, the casual fan. Even a real hardcore fan, can you name
I'm
me
about to
3
say I can
Patriots?
only name Polk. I know they got Hunter Henry at tight end.
This is what I'm saying.
Who's the number one? I don't.
Juju Smith is no longer there.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't know who else. That's the 2 I know.
KJ Osborne.
Okay.
Who else? They got you mentioned Jalen Polk, Mario Douglas, Pop Douglas,
All right.
Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
You know what I'm saying? These are household names,
we're
and
just
you
naming
losing to
people.
them. So the Bengals, I've never really looked. Joe Burrow's good. The Bengals have been good. Something about them hasn't made me fully like believe and jump. Like I don't know what it is. Am I tripping?
Nah, I mean the thing about the Bengals is we know what they can be because they made it to the Super Bowl and they were close to winning, just like the Eagles were, right? Um, I am a believer in Joe Burrow. Even with that performance, I still think he's a top 3 quarterback in this league. Um, with that being said, I don't know what's. I feel like the Jamar Chase thing is a big distraction now. Like even though he played, he waited up until game day basically to decide to play, and it's just drawn out at this point, right? We went the whole offseason with it. Now it's to a point where they're reporting that they offered him 140 mil and he turned it down. And I'm a Jamar Chase fan. Like that's one of my favorite players.
He's legit. He's
Like
legit.
my thing with him at the same time is like I understand where he's coming from, right? I get both sides. The player side is, yo, I don't want to get hurt, and then y'all not pay me what I deserve. Team side is, we'll pay you when it's time to get there. Let's focus on winning, and yeah, you might get hurt, so we don't want to pay you, right? So I
Mhm.
get both sides, but the reality is, bro, if you guys are trying to win, you guys just get out there and play, leave the distraction alone. So to me, it just seems like they're not on the same page right now, man. Like as a team, um, I'm sure they'll bounce back. Only thing is, like we talked about before, they're in a tough division. So those games, like against the Patriots, teams like that, they're supposed to win those games. They can't take those games for granted. And if they keep doing that, they're not going to be in the playoffs. So they're definitely under surveillance. I think they're going to be okay in the long run as long as they can put the distractions away and just focus on playing football. But that's up to them. That's a personal choice they have to make. So
Can't lose to New England Patriots. Can't do it. I'm just and can Joe Burrow stay healthy? That's another thing. I feel like there's always something. Always something. I just can't trust it. And so I look at we talked about a lot of quarterbacks on this show today. And this is why I always go back to my default. That guy Patrick Mahomes plays in Kansas City. So I don't care what any of these teams talking about. Patrick Mahomes is in Kansas City. And he has new weapons. Xavier Worthy. Like, and that was week 1, right? And I expect them to even get more locked in. And obviously, they'll get better as the season goes on. But man, if you don't have one of them at the quarterback spot or some elite offensive talent with good, solid quarterback play, then what are we talking about? So we can eliminate a lot of the league right now. Like half the league just don't even bring them up when it comes to being serious contenders. I don't want to hear it.
and that's my other problem with the NFL right now, man. The quarterback play is not it.
It's bad. It's
Like,
nasty.
because I saw a stat, and this is before I believe this is before the Monday night games. The average passing yards for all the QBs that played on Sunday was 185.
It's nasty.
Bro, we're in a passing league, right? They're passing the ball more than ever. I feel like the receiver pool is deeper than ever,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have teams that have 2 to 3 good receivers on their roster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the rules are catered for the offense and the quarterback to be protected and to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going backwards? I remember a time where, you know, we had guys like maybe Matt Ryan, and yeah, Matt Ryan was a good quarterback, but he was never in those Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady conversations. If he was playing in this NFL right now, he'd be like a top 3 quarterback.
Phillip Rivers.
Philip Rivers, like a guy, people always, even if we going to be
Carson
honest,
Palmer.
even Romo,
Romo.
we could say, yo, listen, we could say
Carson
like
Palmer too.
Romo is a professional choker, right? But if we going to be real, he's a better quarterback than most of the quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Just off of
Listen,
passing
man.
alone, like just like be real, like.
Shout
And
out
that's
to
crazy.
Carson Palmer. Shout out to
Carson Palmer, all them.
Chad
Matt Schaub,
Pennington.
Matt Schaub. I said that to
Shout
my
out.
guys the other day. They was laughing. I'm like, bro, Matt Schaub led the league in yards and was top 5 in touchdowns one
I'm
season. Like,
saying though,
he's
man.
throwing the ball.
Listen, Jay
Like,
Cutler. Let's let Jay Cutler.
watching, right? To me, it's too many quarterbacks that want to lead a pocket too early and run, and you know what I mean. It's not it, bro. Like, let's pass the ball. Like, even with our team, Hurts, right? Hurts. We know he can run, but he had 2 nasty turnovers in our game. That could have cost us the game. Thankfully our defense held it up for us, right? But it's just like, bro, the quarterback play is not. I don't get how we've gone so backwards when the game's supposed to be evolving. Like, I don't know. It's just it baffles me, honestly.
Yeah, the quarterback play has been bad for the last couple of years. It's been horrible, right? I mean, Desmond Ridder was once a starting quarterback in the NFL. Now he's not even in the league, right? I think did the Cardinals waive him? I think.
I don't know where he's at.
Let me do it quick. But he was once a starting quarterback. That seems like forever ago, but well, no, he's with the Cardinals now.
Right.
Okay, got it. Either way, he was a starting quarterback in the NFL, and you probably don't even remember that happening, most people. But he was a starting quarterback in the NFL. Tommy DeVito was a starting quarterback in the NFL, right? Like, so I mean, who actually might be a better option than Daniel Jones, but whatever. What do I know? Is it a conversation of development when it comes to the high school and college levels? Are they being developed properly? And also, are these teams, do they even know what they're looking for and what they're looking at when it comes to a quarterback position? Are you drafting these quarterbacks and are you placing too much emphasis on their individual talents instead of, okay, this is what we have. How can we build upon this? How can we grow this? And how can we build a solid foundation? Because a lot of these teams draft a quarterback and don't have a plan. They don't have a developmental plan. They don't have a team plan as far as developing and having an offensive line, having the necessary weapons to build up an actual win. Look what the Patriots did with Mac Jones. They didn't have a plan. Like,
he played good. Mac Jones played good his first year, but they didn't have no plan.
They didn't have a plan. Your weapons were horrible. Your coaching staff was horrible. Matt Patricia should not be an offensive coordinator. You know? And so I think it's definitely a great observation, and it's a layered conversation because it talks about multiple things: development, evaluation, team building. Most of these teams have no idea what they're doing, and it shows. And so every year we're going to talk about the same teams, the same names, because no other team is being serious. It's Patrick, it's Josh, Lamar, Burrow. Like, what are we talking about? like Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, are they being developed right? I don't know. Do they have a plan for those franchises? I don't know. So yeah, I think the Packers have always done a great job with quarterbacks. Period. Like Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. And they always find a way to find these wide receivers like Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson. Now they got a bunch of them now. The Packers do it right. They do. Andy Reid does it right. But outside of that, a lot of these, like the Steelers, I mean, they had Ben Roethlisberger. They had great defenses. But now, post-Roethlisberger era, what are we doing? Who has it been? Mitch Trubisky, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields now. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bad product sometimes. Like, I can't imagine being a Panthers fan having to watch that. You know?
And it's just such as it just at the end of the day, you know your team has no chance when you see.
Like, you don't. Like, I'm a if you're a Raiders fan, you got Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, you like at least back in the day, right? Like it was parody, then it
Mm-hmm.
like for example, like the Giants, right? Eli Manning wasn't the best quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
but Giants fans knew he might can get us to the promised land because he's capable. Like he's a competent quarterback. Like yeah, he may make bad passes, but the talent is there. These guys we're talking about, as a Raiders fan, your team don't got no chance with Gardner Minshew, bro.
No.
Your team don't got a chance. So as a fan, that's just demoralizing. Like I remember when Carson Wentz got hurt and Nick Foles came in. I'm like, all right, we won that first playoff game. I'm like, yo, we got a chance still.
Mm-hmm.
These teams now, they know it's over from the beginning. They know. So I don't know. Something has to change. I don't know. I feel like teams just have to put players in better positions when they first draft them, man. That's my honest opinion. Like what the Bears did with Caleb Williams was perfect. Even though he struggled week one himself, you see they put good pieces around him, and hopefully throughout the season he'll improve. That's all you can hope for. You got to do
He'll be
your job
okay.
as a GM.
Yeah, he'll be okay. And also draft better. Some guys just aren't meant to be starting. Like Daniel Jones is not a starting quarterback. Just draft better. It's as simple as that. Like it's simple. How far did Lamar Jackson slide down?
To mid round, mid to late.
Yeah,
Actually.
late first round.
Right.
Poor evaluation. You're stuck on your old ways of thinking. We ain't gonna get into that and how they view black quarterbacks and they see a running black quarterback. He can't play quarterback. How about running back? How about wideout? No. I saw what Lamar Jackson did at Louisville. Huge, huge fan. You could just see his skills, the natural arm talent, what he did, and the way the game has evolved and where it's at now. There's no excuse for him to slide down. And now most of these teams in the league are looking stupid because you got Daniel Jones playing quarterback, Gardner Minshew playing quarterback. We love Minshew Mania, but he's not getting it done for you. He's just not. Right? Geno Smith, shout outs to you for resurrecting your career, but Seattle, where are you going? Your defense can be as good as it wants to be. You can have all the weapons on offense, but Geno Smith is not going to lead you to championship contender status.
Right.
So you're wasting your time in Seattle. That's really what you're doing. So unserious franchises after this show: Giants, Falcons, Panthers, teams under surveillance, Bengals. So we'll see.
We'll have more to add.
We'll see. We'll see if the list. I got a couple teams that I want to put on unserious. There's a team in Tennessee I'm thinking about, but I just want to wait and see. Want to wait. I'm gonna give I'm gonna give Levis a couple more weeks. I'm gonna give him a couple more weeks because that was bad. But 2 more weeks of that, and they're going on the list. I got to do it. I have to. So yeah. All right, week 2 coming up. Eagles Falcons Monday night. That'll be lit. You'll be at the game. Enjoy. We also got NBA training camps coming up soon too. So we gotta finish out our Eastern Conference. Maybe next show we can do that. There was just so much to talk about with week 1. I think next show we probably can continue and finish off our Eastern Conference NBA summer recap. So it's about to get busy for us. I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. This might be the perfect time of the year.
All right, bro. We'll holla at y'all. Don't forget, check us out YouTube. We're on Spotify now, right?
Yep.
Apple Podcasts. We're on Amazon Podcasts. So yeah, check us out. Don't like, subscribe, share with your chat groups, your group chats, social media, post us. Just trying to build this thing up. Thank you guys. If you've been riding with us so far, we appreciate y'all. Still got some more exciting things slowly building this thing up, but we thank y'all for rocking with us.
Yep. All right, y'all. Peace out.